it's Penny. Have you ever looked up at the northern lights and wondered where all their beautiful colors come from? I thought I knew every color in the sky until one magical night when they all disappeared. My friends and I were building little snow lanterns beneath the northern lights. Green, blue, pink, and golden ribbons danced above our heads. The colorful light made the snow sparkle like millions of tiny diamonds. Everything looked perfect. But then the sky made a strange shimmering sound. Shh! The green ribbon flickered. The blue ribbon became faint. The pink light blinked twice. And then the golden glow disappeared. One by one, every color faded away until the northern lights were completely white. The whole glacier became quiet. My friends stared at the colorless sky. Where did all the colors go? I asked. Just then, a tiny golden light appeared between the clouds. It flew closer and closer until I recognized our little friend. It was Twinkle. Twinkle landed softly in my flippers. His light was still glowing, but he looked worried. Twinkle showed us 4 empty spaces in the sky. That was when we learned the secret of the northern lights. 4 magical light crystals kept the colors shining. A green crystal, a blue crystal, a pink crystal, and a golden crystal. A powerful snowy wind had blown the crystals away and scattered them across the glacier. If we couldn't return them before the moon reached the highest point in the sky, the northern lights might stay colorless forever. We'll find them, I promised. Twinkle gave us a tiny crystal compass. It spun around in my flippers before pointing toward a field of tall snow walls. The compass began glowing green. The first crystal was somewhere inside the snow maze. We hurried toward the maze, but its icy walls were much taller than 4 little penguins. At the entrance, we found 3 different paths. The path on the left had tiny red footprints. The path in the middle had blue feathers. The path on the right had little green sparkles floating above the snow. Which path do you think leads to the green crystal? Look carefully. Is it the left path, the middle path, or the right path? That's right, the path with the green sparkles. We entered the right path and followed the glowing trail. The maze twisted left, then right, then left again. Soon, we reached a place where the green sparkles seemed to disappear. My friends looked behind the snow walls, but they couldn't find them. Then I noticed something unusual. Blue icicles hung on one wall. Yellow snowflowers grew beside another. But beneath my feet, I saw 3 tiny green lights. Can you find the green lights? 1, 2, 3. The lights formed a little arrow pointing around the corner. We followed it and reached the center of the maze. There it was! The green crystal was trapped inside a web of clear, frozen vines. I pulled one vine, but the web became tighter. My friends pulled in different directions, but that made it even tighter. Then we noticed that every vine curved in the same direction. Instead of pulling, we all turned the vines together. Round and round we went. Can you make a circle with your finger and help us turn them? The frozen web slowly opened, and the green crystal floated into the air. Whoosh! A bright green ribbon returned to the northern lights. We found the first color! I cheered. The crystal compass spun again and began glowing blue. It led us toward a sparkling ice cave. Inside the cave, the walls were covered with frozen bubbles. Every bubble reflected a different color. We found 5 large bubbles in a row. Would you like to count them with us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One bubble glowed yellow. 1 glowed pink. 1 glowed white. 1 glowed green. And 1 glowed blue. Which bubble is hiding the blue crystal? Look carefully. Yes, the 5th bubble. I gently tapped it with my flipper. Tap, 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 crack. The bubble opened, and the blue crystal rolled across the slippery cave floor. It rolled faster and faster toward a deep crack in the ice. Oh no! I slid across the ice and stretched out my flippers. The crystal reached the edge, but I caught it just in time. As soon as I lifted it, a brilliant blue ribbon appeared beside the green light in the sky. Two colors were back, but the pink and golden crystals were still missing. The compass began glowing pink and pointed toward a frozen lake shining beneath the moon. Our colorful adventure was only halfway over. We followed the pink glow until we reached the frozen lake. Its surface was smooth and shiny, like a giant mirror. Beneath the clear ice, a soft pink light moved slowly from side to side. The pink crystal was under the lake. In the center of the frozen water, we saw a beautiful ice flower. The pink crystal was trapped inside it, but we couldn't walk straight across the slippery lake. Then Twinkle shone his light across the ice and revealed a hidden path made from glowing shapes. The first stepping stone was a circle. The second was a triangle. The third was a square. Then we saw another circle, another triangle, and an empty space. Which shape should come next? Circle, triangle, square. Circle, triangle. Yes! The missing shape was a square. A glowing square appeared on the ice. We carefully followed the pattern. Circle, triangle, square. Circle, triangle, square. At last, we reached the ice flower in the center of the lake. I tried pushing its frozen petals open, but they wouldn't move. My friends tried too, but the flower stayed tightly closed. Then I noticed tiny heart shapes carved into its petals. Maybe the flower didn't need strong flippers. Maybe it needed something warm and kind. My red scarf friend said, "Penny, you are very brave." My green scarf friend said, "You always help us find a way." My yellow scarf friend said, "And you make every adventure more fun." The ice flower began to glow. Now it was my turn. I told my friends how clever, caring, and wonderful they were. The flower opened a little more. "Will you help us? Think of someone you care about and say something kind about them." The frozen petals shimmered. Then they slowly opened. The pink crystal rose from the center of the flower, filling the lake with a warm, rosy light. A beautiful pink ribbon returned to the sky. 3 colors were back. Only the golden crystal remained. The compass spun faster than ever and pointed toward the highest snowy mountain on the glacier. The golden crystal was waiting at the very top. We climbed until we reached a staircase made from glowing snowflakes, but 3 of its steps were missing. Beside the staircase, we found 3 blocks of snow, a small block, a medium block, and a large block. We placed the large block at the bottom, the medium block in the middle, and the small block at the top. Can you count the new steps? 1, 2, 3. The staircase was complete. We climbed higher and higher until the wind began to whistle around us. At the summit, the golden crystal was floating inside a spinning circle of snowy wind. Twinkle tried to reach it, but the wind pushed him away. My friends and I joined our flippers and formed a circle. The wind was moving in a wild, bumpy rhythm. Maybe we could calm it with a steady rhythm of our own. Will you clap with us? Clap, clap, pause. Clap, clap, pause. One more time. Clap, clap, pause. The spinning wind became slower. The golden crystal gently floated down into my flippers. But something was wrong. It wasn't shining. Twinkle explained that the golden crystal needed hope and happiness to wake up. So we thought about everything that made us happy. Our friends, our snowy home, our adventures, and all the kind people who helped us along the way. Then we raised the crystal toward the sky. Will you help us wake it up? When we reach one, shout, "Shine together." 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shine together. The golden crystal burst into light. A golden ribbon spread across the sky beside the green, blue, and pink lights. We had found all 4 colors, but the crystals still needed to return to their places among the northern lights. Twinkle lifted them into the air. The wind grew stronger, and for a moment, he couldn't fly any higher. We called out the colors to give him more power. Say them with us. Green. A green path appeared. Blue. A blue path curled around it. Pink. A sparkling pink bridge reached toward the clouds. Gold. A brilliant golden light carried Twinkle into the sky. The 4 crystals flew into their places. For one quiet moment, the sky was completely still. Then, whoosh! The northern lights returned brighter than ever. Green, blue, pink, and golden ribbons danced across the entire glacier. Their colors reflected on the ice, the snowy mountains, and our little lanterns. Twinkle drew a glowing rainbow heart in the sky. My friends and I laughed and danced beneath the lights until our feet were tired. That night, I learned that every color has something special to share. Green was calm, blue was brave, pink was kind, and gold was full of hope. Each color was beautiful on its own, but when they shone together, they made the whole sky magical. Friends can be like colors too. We don't have to be exactly the same to belong together. Our differences can make our friendship brighter. Before we went home, we looked up at Twinkle and the colorful northern lights.